Calling all units, calling all units. Donut shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.
Make sure YouTube's queued up for when you want me to.
That's weird. That cup says my name on it.
It does.
Is it really? Is that how you spell it and everything?
Goals, yeah, same exact way.
When he typed it into the group, I was like,
that's awesome.
is it really?
Yeah. It's
Are you saying it's a guy Chris from Galls?
I told him
or?
he would be perfect to get, like, instead of getting like Air Jordans, you just start wearing Galls boots. Like, yeah,
right.
dude, I'm sponsored.
Totally.
Got my own boot.
Yeah,
Sponsored.
that's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, we could. Is
We
it
wanna
recording?
Start it up.
Yeah, let's
with
cheers
the
it.
with the toast and your goblet.
Is it
The goblet.
It's ready to go.
Boom.
Cheers, boys.
Look at that.
Cheers.
Cheers. We are moving and grooving. Episode 3 already.
Pinky.
Right? Trace.
That it is.
Pinky thing there.
Pinky.
Well, welcome everybody.
Welcome.
Hello, Nick.
Hi, I'm Nick.
We got to introduce ourselves.
All right.
I was
Hey,
told
Nick
that we
from,
didn't.
Nick from Nick Off Duty. We got some critiques at the last podcast we did with Freddie Trillo.
Mm-hmm.
So one was, hey, introduce yourselves. So those that don't know you, well, I'm Nick from Nick Off Duty.
And I'm Justin from Florida.
And then today our guest is my friend. I'm going to say your name. And then you can say your name again and tell us a little bit more about you. Christian from TTOG.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris with TTOG.
That's right.
Happy to be here.
TTOG. But don't let that, people are probably like, what's TTOG? Chris is an employee with me, law enforcement. Met him about, I don't know, like 6-7 years ago in a training that we were with some rookies that just started. So after the academy, they do, it's like a post-academy where they bring them in before they hit the road. So it's like extra training.
Yeah.
And they call in FTOs from the street, people that have certain training, firearms or whatever. So they call them in to work with them for that week or month. And that's where I met Chris. I was like, who's this guy? Who's this guy?
He's hot.
Yeah. And then, man, does this guy know his stuff? Because, again, I'm going to let you introduce yourself and go into everything about you. But this is not your first law enforcement gig. You were also law enforcement like before that. So you had transferred from another department. So with that being said, guys who's listening out in podcast land, who's watching on YouTube, I want to introduce my friend, Chris.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Just like Nick said, so I spent just about 5 years with Monroe County Sheriff's Office, which is down in the Florida Keys, Paradise, as some would know it.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Before I transferred over to my current department that I work with.
Yes. You were in Monroe County. You were an FTO, right?
Correct.
So you were already state. This is why I was like, who is this guy? Because you started working at our agency, and then all of a sudden you were an FTO. I was like, this guy just got here. How is this guy an FTO? But then I got his backstory. It's got to make sense. Because once you're an FTO, you're state certified. So you can.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
You
it's
have
a
the
state,
class that carries over.
Right.
Your state certification. So if I was to transfer to another agency, I carry those certifications over with me, and then I can start FTOing as a rookie at that agency. Not
Right,
really a
because
rookie, though.
training officers are always in high demand for the road, for new officers coming in. I'm sure
Yeah.
a place like that, you got a lot of people, a lot of new people all the time, a lot of turnover coming in.
Especially with somebody with the credentials like my man, Christian.
Whoa.
What?
He's gonna handle the drops.
I'm gonna have to squeeze this information out of you because you
Oh,
seem
boy.
like a modest guy like myself. I'm the most modest guy you're ever gonna meet. So humble.
Tremendously
There's nobody more
modest.
humble than me. Nobody. So modest. It's a joke. That's sarcasm.
Told you're modest. Everybody tells you you're modest.
So, Chris, don't be modest. Open up. Tell us. Okay, so you're Monroe County Sheriff, right?
Yes.
You did 5 years there.
Correct.
This is not a deposition.
Absolutely.
You can elaborate a little more.
Right.
So tell us, before Monroe County, okay? Let's rewind even further back.
Sure.
How'd you get into law enforcement, or was there something else before? I know the answer to this.
Yes.
Was there something else before
You're
law
gonna have to
enforcement?
pry it out of
Absolutely.
them.
You're just reaching in there
Yeah,
to grab it.
This guy's a treasure chest.
Absolutely. I spent 2 enlistments in the United States Marine Corps.
2 enlistments. What is
Right.
that? What is that?
Equals
for
how much
them?
time?
Yeah.
Just about 8 years, yeah.
8 years.
Long
Thank you.
years.
Yeah. Thank you for
Active
your
duty.
service, my friend.
Thank you.
In the Marine Corps.
Yes.
All right. Jarhead.
100%.
Crayon eater.
Purple.
Purple's the favorite flavor?
Absolutely.
Yeah. We started with a crayon for him. We're like, no.
It's gone. I ate it.
Yeah.
So we had to give him a pen.
Is that why your teeth are purple?
That's right.
So you went to the Marines.
Yes.
Straight out of high school?
The day I graduated.
Really?
Absolutely.
What was the motivation?
Growing up, I would see the recruiters at my school,
Mm-hmm.
my high school, and I always thought they stood out. I didn't know really what they were about until I spoke to one of them. Caught my attention. I was an athlete growing up. I played football,
All right.
weightlifting team.
Doesn't look like it at all.
No, not at all. You really shrunk down since high school.
So it piqued my interest when it was revealed to me that this is a group of men that come together from all walks of life to accomplish mission sets based on the freedoms of our country. That was important to me.
Yeah.
Once I saw that, I realized I need to be involved with that team.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So you ship out to boot camp.
Gone.
How was that?
Boot camp's boot camp.
Yeah?
Yeah, you'll hear some people say that boot camp's the hardest thing they ever did.
Yeah.
Absolutely not even close.
No.
No.
No. Well, you
Maybe while you're there, sure.
Yeah.
You're being indoctrinated. You're young.
Yeah.
I'd say most guys are 17 to 22 when they go in.
Yeah.
So you fall under that age bracket of really just being a standby for curse word shit heel.
That's okay. We're doing the Marvel.
That's right.
Ratings.
Yes.
So if it flies in Marvel movies, then we're like, hey, we're good.
It's good.
We're good. It's a good recipe.
It's good.
We'll consider you like a superhero. So if Captain
thanks.
America says it, then it's okay.
Captain America says language, but not Deadpool.
Right.
We're not going Deadpool.
R-rated.
Yeah, we're not going Deadpool.
Correct.
More of the Avengers. Excuse me, a little burp off mic.
Whoa.
All right, so Marine Corps.
Yes.
Hardcore. To the core.
Yes.
Okay, so you're over there, bang, then what happens?
First deployment, did a UDP to Okinawa. Had a great time out there. I was a young man.
What's UDP?
Unit Deployment Program.
What's that?
That's basically where a East Coast unit deploys over to Japan, where there is a contingency battalion.
What do you guys do over there?
Booze cruise.
Booze cruise. Okay.
Always come back with a bottle. That
Yeah,
has
that's
some
right.
Sort of an animal.
The
that's
nitty gritty.
inside of it.
It was a booze cruise
Sake bombs and all that stuff?
all day.
So when you leave there, you're like, Marines are not that bad, huh?
That's right.
This is it. The boot camp is the hardest thing I've ever done.
That's it. That's
And
right.
then what happens after that?
The wars kicked off.
So
Absolutely.
what year was that?
My UDP was in 2002.
2002.
Oh yeah.
Afghanistan had just happened. It was about 2001-ish.
Yeah.
I can't remember the exact time frame.
Well, hang on, that's my job.
Here we
You keep
go.
talking, I will,
September 9/11.
9/11 of 2001.
September's
Absolutely.
the latter part of the
Correct.
year. So moving. So you
Right.
got 10 October 11 12, and then boom, here comes
Boom.
2012,
Right.
and it was hot over there.
It was popping off.
It was
Absolutely.
I remember seeing videos of that.
Yep.
And being like, wow, that is the bullets whizzing.
Start date October 7th, 2001. So
There you go.
less than a month after
Sure.
9/11.
So-
basically, we started movement into
Kicked off. I'm sure that's
Yeah.
the first ground troops were over there. The Delta guys, special operators were
Boots on the
already in
ground.
there. Absolutely.
Yeah. So you get deployed over there. You're in it. You're
So I deployed in 03
Uh-huh.
to Iraq. Oh, I'm sorry. 03 Iraq kicked off. I deployed to Iraq 05.
Still hot 2 years later.
05 was crazy.
Yeah. So what was the mission over there in 05?
Hearts and minds, best way to put it. Hearts and minds kind of took over. Counterinsurgency operations. We'd run patrols out of our FOB, forward operating base.
Forward operating
Thank you.
base.
I saw that coming.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
We'd run patrols, security patrols, reconnaissance patrols. We'd basically be out there picking a fight with insurgents,
So insurgents are
bad guys,
bad guys.
terrorists.
Terrorists. There you
Correct.
go. The terrorists. Okay, from the old regime.
Sure, that was Al Qaeda in Iraq. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So, you're there, and have you ever been shot at over there?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ever been hit?
No.
People in your company?
Yes.
People in your platoon?
Absolutely.
Man, you've seen it. You lived
Yes.
it. All right. So we know that you're legit, and not to say nobody that they've been overseas or they're in the service that they're not legit, but you've seen the worst of the worst. So that's some credibility there, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, I had the job where I was a door kicker, you know. When you have a job that's your mission set and your job title is described as locating, closing with, and destroying the enemy, that pretty much sets the bar for exactly what you're training for stateside and exactly what you're going overseas to do.
Wow. So the training consisted, because you think, well, again, I get my stuff from movies.
Sure.
But Vietnam and all these jungle terrain, a little bit different than the stuff that is in Iraq. Little urban warfare, right?
Absolutely.
CQB stuff.
CQB all day.
So that moving forward, you do a couple more tours to Iraq.
Right.
So you're just Iraq.
Iraq.
Okay.
I was in Iraq 05, 06, and 07.
And then 07, you're done.
Right at the end of it.
Okay.
Yep.
But then you come back
Stateside.
stateside.
Yep.
What
Finish
happened?
out stateside. Finish out my enlistment. I'm done. I get out.
Now
and
what?
I moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, with one of my buds.
Woo!
Whoa.
Shout out to Fort
Fort
Lickerdale.
Lickerdale.
Fort Lickerdale. That's right.
So
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
cheers to Fort Lickerdale. Each one of us took a drink. We gotta work on that one. Somebody has to stay on the.
That's all air conditioned
Yeah.
microphones.
People
all the
driving
time.
like, did I lose signal? Did I lose signal? So, boom, you're back, Fort Lickerdale, 2008.
Yep.
Then what?
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in the sauce. What does that
Absolutely.
mean?
I knew. I thought I knew which direction I want to
Yeah.
go. You know, it was either fire or police.
Should have went fire.
What a great job. Right?
Regretful to this day.
Everybody.
My one regret.
Absolutely. Everybody loves firefighters, bro.
Can do no wrong.
Ever.
No wrong.
Ever.
I'm gonna bring out my boy Savedra from the fire department. I need to bring him on, and I need to grill him.
That's awesome.
I need to bring out the truth of these guys.
The secret. What do they know?
So
we don't know.
going back, you're home. You're lost in the sauce, as you call it.
Sure.
That's a real thing.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, because people are like, oh yeah, they're just normal. They're just normal. They left. They were the same, and they should come back and get right back into society. And
You
that-
don't. Nope.
No.
You got to acclimate back to regular society, you know, and there's a lot of rabbit holes that you could run into and jump in.
Yeah.
Getting out of the military,
Yeah.
especially with whatever crowd you're running with, you're easily influenced.
Yeah.
You got to pick one side of the fence. And I know I had one of my buddies, great guy, Dave. My buddy Dave, he had just got out of the Marine Corps a year before me, and he had told me, he goes, hey man, listen, you got a couple of months to really hang out before you got to figure it out.
Yeah.
So enjoy it, hang out, you got some money in the bank, you got 6 months, you better know what you want to do, what direction you want to go in, otherwise Bangkok's going to get you, bro.
Bangkok.
That's right.
Bangkok's gonna get
What's
you.
that?
Like
You've seen
Hangover.
it. You've seen it.
Oh, the
seen
Hangover.
It's just,
Oh, yeah.
you know, Bangkok
That's
got
it.
him.
Bangkok got him.
Pull him in,
okay.
and it's just a
Sorry.
dark,
the
dark
underbelly.
life. Yeah,
The
just from
underbelly,
there,
man.
So
It's a real thing.
that's a real thing. So,
That's a real thing.
So to the younger Chris, that might be, I don't know, coming out, you know, in the same situation.
Sure.
Same thing applies. Hey, you got 6 months, man.
Yeah, that's it.
Get it together.
Absolutely. And you know, there. I have a belief now, looking back, you know, about to be 38 years old. I was a young man when I got out, 25.
Still a young man.
I'll look down and I'll say, you know, you realize that you're very institutionalized when you're in the military. You're fed. Mm-hmm. They give you a place to live, and you take orders.
That's what I say. They tell you what to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When you're on your own, you got to figure it out.
You don't have to do a lot of major
Absolutely.
decision thinking on your own.
Absolutely. And you better make good decisions, because if you make bad ones, obviously,
Yeah.
you're going to get some sort of punishment from there. So you always get a little pow-pow from your upper echelon if you make bad decisions. Out here, nobody cares. You make a bad decision, you go to jail, bud. That's it.
That's true.
You know, you're not going to have somebody say, hey, I'm demoting you in rank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half a month's pay. It doesn't work that way, you know. So you really got to figure it out and stay locked in.
What about like, you know, at the height of that time, you had a lot of contract companies
Sure.
out there and stuff.
Absolutely.
And so they probably pick off a lot of guys as they're coming out.
They do. They do.
Grabbing them up.
Absolutely.
Security contract.
Security contracting, yeah, absolutely.
running
I
the Middle
explored
East.
that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Great pay out here.
Very good pay. I had a buddy of
Dangerous?
mine. Yeah, it's super.
Yeah.
Super dangerous. You're not. You don't have all of the assets that the United States military does at your beck and call.
So
And you're a-
for the listener
pawn.
out here that's
Right.
like, what contracting? So essentially, maybe oil company, or you're running the convoy, right? Or dignitary
Sure.
over there.
Security
Yeah,
protection.
security, yeah.
So
for-
basically,
You'll
you're
be
armed,
protecting a fob, protecting a principal. It just depends on.
you're armed security,
Correct.
getting paid,
Right.
not under the U.S. military.
Correct.
You're overseas
Right.
private contract.
Right.
Okay. I just wanted to clear that up.
Sure.
But hold on, we're about to take a break. So after the break, we're gonna move forward. Okay, that was good stuff, by the way. We're gonna move forward we're gonna catch up to law enforcement.
Roger that.
We'll be right back.
This portion of the podcast is brought to you by How to Teach K-12 Online. It's written by Angela Lawrence. You can find it on Amazon. You can order a hard copy or download the Kindle version. Inside this handbook, teachers will learn over 20 strategies to support a teacher as they transition from face-to-face to online instruction. Administrators in schools will find a launching pad for professional development. And parents that are homeschooling online for the first time can get an inside scoop into how to teach students in a virtual classroom. So this handbook is ranked number 1, that's right, in Espanol, numero uno, in professional development in new releases by Amazon. Pick up a copy today. You can, again, a digital copy on your Kindle, or you can order the hard copy paperback on Amazon today. Now, let's get back to the podcast. And we're back, topped off.
Yeah,
topped
man.
off. So we were lost in the sauce. Okay, you gave the message out to the Chris's of today that are just coming out. 6 months. Let's go.
That's right.
Get the. I'm gonna say a curse word. Get the ass in gear.
Whoa.
Man, I really went in on them. Yeah, no. So
Potty mouth.
Here we go. Bang. Now what? Now what'd you decide to do? Did you write out the 6 months?
Took a step back. Absolutely, I rode the 6 months out.
6 months in a day.
Had a blast
Yes.
in Fort Lauderdale.
Hey man, but you know what? You deserve it.
Absolutely.
You deserve it.
Figured out what I wanted to do. Found out the police academy in Monroe County accepted the GI Bill.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely
Big
a big
thing,
thing.
yeah.
Big thing.
So
Contacted them down there.
GI Bill. So essentially paid for you to go to the academy.
Yes.
Self-sponsored.
Correct.
Because
Correct.
for anybody that's not sure, you either have agencies that will pay for you to go to a police academy,
Yeah.
to attend the police academy, and then usually you are coming into that agency, or you go self-sponsored, so you go on your own.
Yeah.
You pay the fees to go, and then that way you can present a packet of a certified police officer trained to get hired.
Yeah, so-
Sometimes some agencies just want that because they don't have the budget,
Yep.
or they're looking for somebody now, today.
Yeah.
They don't
Right.
want to worry about losing you for 6 months to the police academy.
Yep.
So
So
you
went
obviously took
on
the initiative.
on a GI Bill.
Went on the GI Bill.
Sweet.
Moved down to the Keys Marathon.
Mm-hmm.
Would drive every day, an hour down, hour back to the academy.
Where's the academy in Monroe?
It was in Key West at that time.
wow.
Now they have a couple more, I believe. I think it's in. I think they have one in Marathon. And I think they also have one in Key Largo. Those are part-time academies. The full-time one is in Key West.
Must be rough,
It's
man.
interesting that it's
Keys.
just
Pretty
all the way down
awesome.
there.
I was gonna say, it must be rough.
Pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
A
Yeah.
lot of study time spent.
Yeah. Fun fact: I was on MTV Summer in the Keys back in
Of
like
course you were.
2003, or singing Backstreet Boys on one of the breaks.
Oh, man.
Okay,
Is that at all available
Yeah.
for me to put in the video of the podcast?
I know you got to look for it.
Don't ever make fun of the Backstreet Boys.
I love them. I love them. I love them. All right, keep going.
So that's it. Enrolled in the academy. At that time, the director of training down there was Nancy Bunch, retired Navy commander. Got in very good with her. She thought I was sharp. I don't know what she was looking at. She thought I was sharp.
Yeah.
I thought I was rather dull.
Yeah.
She thought I was sharp. Made
Yeah.
me the class captain. Finished out the program as the class captain.
Nice.
Halfway through, I got hired on with the sheriff's office, so I was able to graduate in Monroe County uniform. And as soon as I graduated, I hit the road.
Nice.
Based out of Marathon, which is District 4.
Not. What's it like over there? Suburban, fields. What is it? It's hard to describe, huh?
It is hard to describe, especially per key. So if you're asking crime-wise, there's crime everywhere.
Yeah, of course.
It's definitely not as violent, not even close to any larger cities.
Yeah.
From working its way from Dade County up.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to be keezy, but they do have a lot of domestics,
Yeah.
DUIs, lower unit boat motor thefts down there.
Yeah, so yeah, a lot
Absolutely.
of property
And
theft.
they have their share of shootings, police-involved shootings.
I mean, it's island life. It's the United States, but it's
Island life is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. What about?
That's right.
What about
Margaritaville,
like smugglers and?
tons of them.
Yeah, so I was gonna say.
Yeah, Coast Guard's down there.
Yes.
Border Patrol's down there. You got Customs are down there. They got awesome vessels. You know, these guys are intercepting boats coming in all the time. So
BTW is gonna do a police cars episode.
That's
with
pretty
Coast
awesome.
Guard. Yeah, it's coming up. Well, season 2.
Dope.
Ended season 1. But anyways,
awesome.
Nice.
so
A lot of traffic accidents
absolutely,
on,
Yeah.
Especially on overseas.
those are
highways.
terrible
Yeah.
yeah.
because they shut it down.
Yeah.
It's
Oh, yeah.
one lane in, one lane out.
Yeah.
Which then caused a ripple effect
That's
either
it.
north or south because you got now people getting ticked off and violent that you're having to deal with.
Absolutely.
probably.
Any hurricanes come through there
The last one, I believe,
when you were there?
no, not while I was there.
Oh, okay.
No.
We got one right now that's passing us. It could have hit us today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's out in the Gulf right
It
now.
wasn't committed.
No. It's like they didn't want none of that.
Yeah.
No, it's going total 2020 on New
That's
Orleans,
right.
though.
Yeah, man. New
That's
Orleans is
right.
getting it.
Good,
Jeez.
your prayers for those guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So Monroe County Sheriffs, you're there. FTO,
Yes.
you're an FTO now. How long before you became an FTO?
1 year.
1 year.
Yes.
Wow. Squared away.
Squared away.
Not a lot to pick from.
No.
The shiniest crayon in the box. Sharpest crayon in the box.
That crayon was sharp and shiny.
You were a captain in the academy? Come
Hello.
on, man. Yeah, so anyways. Okay. So, bang. FTO, and then they have a SWAT team. They have a
They
SWAT
do.
element over there.
Absolutely.
You're like, I did that overseas. I can hang. I could do that. What SWAT school was over there?
They used to do their own in-house. So at the time that I was there, you were able to pretty much pick whatever school you wanted to go to.
Uh-huh.
If you go, you pass, you come back certified. Bring that back. I don't know, or I'm not aware if they're trying to get back to that old adage of them doing an in-house one. Kind of feel like that's a little bit better. It's more structured.
Yeah.
Got your own guys teaching the tactics that you know that your team uses. Kind of makes life a little easier than sending dudes out all over the state or wherever they want to go, and everybody comes back with different tactics, you know?
Yeah, because there's no uniform SWAT, right? There's no uniform SWAT tactics, like
Correct.
Or there is.
No, there's not.
So each SWAT school, more or less the same stuff, right? More or less.
Depends where you're at.
Yeah. So, but in essence, it is unique to each school.
I would say yes.
Yeah, I know for sure because I know at our PD is very it's waterborne. They have waterborne, and you go to some other SWAT schools. They're like, what in the water? Yeah.
Our SWAT school is the experience.
Yes, people
the
come from
experience.
all over the world.
All over the world to attend it.
Yes.
And, you
I
know,
think I've seen a vlog about that.
absolutely, yeah. That program was built by police officers that were former Special Forces Vietnam vets. They came back, put together a program that pretty much touches on all facets of tactical operations. And that program has been successful, I'd say going on 40 years, maybe a little bit longer.
Incredible.
Absolutely incredible.
Incredible.
High attrition rate. That school is a vetting process more so for your heart than your physical ability or your attributes. You know, we're going to break you down no matter what it is.
Yeah.
So,
I vlogged it.
You vlogged it. You've been there.
I remember.
And I quit after the second day vlogging. I'm like,
Absolutely.
this is too much.
Absolutely.
you got those the bunny ears or something like that. You got
Well, you know,
thrown
it's
out of
so
it.
Warriors
intense.
helmet.
We've had guys, you know, we get military from the United States that attend from all over the world.
I did tours for 2 German guys. They
Awesome.
came to my PD, and then they were like, "Oh man," I'm like, "Is that still going on?"
Yeah.
And they're like,
Let me
not for us."
Let
but
me
it was their
interject.
vacation though.
Let me interject because we jumped in a timeline.
Oh.
And I don't
Oh,
want to
yeah.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
want to jump because we're not talking about Monroe County right now.
Crack the whip,
Sorry.
Nick.
Let's
no,
get
I
back.
just because somebody might be listening and go, wait, where am I right now? So did I just miss something? You know?
Did Justin screw
You're
up in the
right.
edit?
Yes, you're right.
Yeah. So to go.
Good call.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that.
Yep.
This guy wrangling the show.
Hey,
Sure.
hey, I'm learning, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to improve on my craft.
Yep.
Very good.
So to go back, Monroe County, you tried out for the SWAT team.
Right.
You made it.
Made it.
Boom.
Got to pick the
How many years
school that I
before you
wanted
got
to
on?
go to.
How many years before
How many years before
you became SWAT?
I was SWAT? Within 6 months.
I came out of the academy SWAT.
No, it was,
No, I'm
it
just
was
kidding.
within 6 months. I had they obviously waived it because they saw my previous military and just the sincere fact that I had just deployed, got back, and within a year time frame, I was already on the road.
Yeah, you're fresh.
On patrol. I'm fresh.
Yeah.
You know, they wanted a go-getter. They wanted somebody that's got pertinent knowledge
Yeah.
of combat operations overseas to
so for
come on
that,
board.
what is common with an agency and how long you can become SWAT? What's the normal policy and procedure?
From what I've seen, obviously it depends on the agency. Some agencies have waivers.
Yeah.
So they'll
Okay.
waive it on your personal experience, your background. Certain agencies are a couple years, 2 years, 3 years,
Yeah.
18 months. It just varies on the department that you're at.
Okay.
That's good. Good information. So
It's good.
So you're good. You're boom. You
That's
make
right.
it. You what school did you go to?
So I went to the Miami-Dade College.
Miami-Dade College.
Absolutely.
SWAT school.
Yep.
But that's not the only SWAT.
That's not
school
the
you
only
went-
SWAT school I went to. So
So wait. I want to guide you. So you go to the Miami-Dade
Yes.
College one, right?
fail.
You failed the Miami-Dade.
Failed it.
Wow.
Failed it.
Okay.
Absolutely.
What?
Turning point in my life as a young, arrogant dude. So remember, I just got out of the Corps. Things are lining up. Everything's going great.
Yeah.
We get out there, great instructors, great course, get out there to qualify on pistol. This is 2010. And I remember I'm on the line. It was hot. It's always hot. When is
Yeah.
it not
Yeah,
hot?
it's-
That's a given.
it's
Get on the
Florida.
line. It's the old FDLE 25-yard qualification. And I slung 7 out.
Out of 48, right?
48, yeah.
Yeah.
That was not a passing score.
No.
And that was my first attempt. Second attempt, psyched myself out. I got into my own head.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I got into my own head. And that was it. You know, when I got shipped off that day, I told myself, I go, hey, man, that'll never happen again. That's a humble pie.
Yeah.
That's humble
sauce.
pie.
Yeah.
You just got it all
At the
humble
next,
sauce all
whoa,
over
everywhere. And it's at the next level. Because that's
Make sure
something
the
that,
wrangles on him for
sure,
that.
that's something that you know, that's not just a, let me just show up and show out
Yeah.
commitment. That's, I need to get ready physically. So that's months that you've put in, right? For this mission set, I want to get ready. I want to ensure I'm prepared. The thing that a lot of people don't realize is if you focus primarily on one thing and let another thing kind of lay a little dormant because you feel really good about it, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So I got there, I got booted, came back. One of my guys made it. Very happy for him, very proud of him.
Yeah.
And it gave me something to work for. I set my sights very high. And my own worst critic is myself.
I'm the same way.
100%, no doubt about that.
But that's what makes you better.
Exactly.
If
And I
you're
agree.
like, oh man, I'm the best.
Sure.
Oh, I killed that last
Definitely not.
podcast.
Yeah.
Don't need to get better at all.
That's right.
And then you're gonna be like, the whole-
Right.
So
Always-
100%.
always can get better.
Yeah,
always
man.
can get better.
I committed at that exact moment to mastering the craft of all my weapons that I use. And that's where I took it to the next level. I just started going to training after training after training, specializing in handgun and rifle, handgun, rifle, you know, and I learned the intricacies of a handgun because I told myself, this will never happen again.
Because in the Marines, rifles, a lot of rifles. Primary rifles.
Primary.
Flip it for law enforcement.
Pistol.
Primary pistol.
Absolutely.
So makes sense.
Yeah.
So it was the handgun course that beat you.
Crushed me.
It crushed me.
It killed me.
We shoot AK-47 in my SWAT school. So, boom. Now you go. You're taking courses. How long before you take the next? Is it every year?
The next SWAT school I do. So I decided that at that time to go with Miami-Dade SRT. Passed the tryout. There wasn't a very abundant amount of guys that did pass that tryout. They ended up canceling the school for that year. Went to Jacksonville SWAT. Jax Beach PD. I'm sorry, Jacksonville Beach PD. Did their SWAT school 65 hours. Crushed it.
Yeah.
Had a great time. That same qual. Crushed it. Felt great. Very accomplished feeling. I worked for it. I wanted more.
Ooh.
I wanted more. At that point, that was it. When I got that, I needed more.
What do you think it was that, if you look back and critique yourself, what threw you off on that first qual? And how did you fix it? Was it grip? What was it? Because pistols.
Immaturity.
Really?
Absolutely.
I got this.
Immaturity.
No, I don't need to listen to you. I know what I'm doing.
You know, so they have this thing. It's called an emotional disconnect. And I preach this in the classes that I teach now. You need to be able to, in these types of professions, whether it's law enforcement, military, fire rescue, you need to be able to detach yourself emotionally from whatever situation you're in.
Yes.
In order to make the best decisions, whether it's decisions for yourself or for your men. And at that time, I let my emotions run high, and they got the best of me. And even though I was a combat veteran, and I thought I had my tactical decision-making, my emotional well-being under control, I didn't. Because once I threw that first round, that was it. You know, the bowling pins lined up, and that ball just came. That bowling ball just took them all out at one big scoop.
It's not as cool as your story, but it's to build off of it. Is that I was a pitcher in college.
That's right.
I played college baseball, FGCU. Shout out to the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then, but it's the same thing. You're popping the mitt, strike. As soon as you start throwing balls and you're trying to fix it, you're done.
That's right.
You're in your head. It's all a head game.
Yeah.
So I can totally relate to that as far as getting in your own head.
Sure.
When we would call the pitchers head cases, and then it's kind of bush league when you're on the other team and they're out there doing it. You're like, you can't find the strike zone.
Yeah, and you see the same thing in golf with guys like Phil Mickelson and Tiger Woods. You know, they're greatest golfers ever, and they're just they look like any of us out there on the links, and it's like, how do they?
That's something I preach now. That's one of the first things I say when I teach a class now. I tell the men and women that attend my courses, you need to emotionally disconnect from what we're doing here.
Yeah.
Because missing a shot, it's not, and it shouldn't set the pace for the rest of your training day. Because if it does, then you're done.
Yeah, go home.
Go home. That's
home
it.
now.
You know, be able to disconnect, because I tell people, listen, at the end of the day, you guys are here to shoot and learn how to shoot. I got cops, armed responsible citizens, military dudes, and I tell everybody, it's not just about shooting, it's about growing and evolving, right? Forming yourself up, setting yourself up to make good decisions, good tactical decisions, right? Because if you got to pull that gun out at any time, got to make a good tactical decision.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to do that if you're emotionally bound by what's happening.
Right. Yeah. Nobody's here to judge.
Exactly.
Here to train you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Very cool.
Very cool, calm collective. So, what was
Let's
that?
cut it.
We're doing a break.
Yeah, let's take a break. We'll bring it right back.
Break time.
All right, I like it. So we're gonna fast forward on the next segment. We're gonna talk about your current position.
Let's do it.
And then also I got some questions for you.
I have answers.
I got some questions for you.
Answers.
And they're fun questions.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, cool. We'll be right back. Guys, if you haven't heard, Anchor is the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that'll allow you to record and edit your podcasts right from your phone or your computer. Anchor will distribute your podcasts for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
All right.
We're back.
So you failed. You were a failure.
Loser.
Yeah, but hey, if you learn how to win by failing.
Absolutely.
You learn how to win by failing.
Absolutely.
So
Two big steps forward,
it's right.
going to two other
right.
schools, kicking their butts.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like the Paula Abdul song, 2 steps forward,
Yeah.
1 step back. I don't know whatever.
Uh-oh.
So here we go. Boom.
Yes.
You pass Jacksonville. Come back. SWAT team. Anything else to add to that?
I needed more. I
Ooh.
felt it.
Ooh.
I got with my wife at that time, and she knew, I had a bug. That bug doesn't go away. I could explain it. I could say here, the only dudes that would really understand that are dudes that have been there.
You're talking about overseas.
Yeah, you get
Okay.
a bug that just, not even just overseas, you want the action. You need it in your
Yeah.
life. I'm not an adrenaline junkie per se where let me hop on this roller coaster or let me drive this car 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
But there's nothing in this world like kicking in a door and accomplishing a mission that needs to be accomplished. And only a certain set of dudes can really do that.
Yeah.
I needed more. I had my buddy Andrew at that time that was a security contractor for Academy, formerly Blackwater. He was one of my Marines. He came down and stayed with us, I'd say about 2012 time frame. And he got in my ear and he said, hey, man, if this is something you're interested in, let's rock and roll with it. So I said, okay. Applied to be a security contractor, went through all the paperwork, security clearance, everything, came in, cleared.
What do you got to do for that? Just paperwork or interviews?
So first you got to be qualified. So
what-
there's a couple of qualifications that you go through, which are, let me see, it's been a minute since I thought about this. So
Can a cop become a...
yes. So they do an and/or
Yeah.
disclosure, which is basically like, so I'm a sniper, right? So they'll do and/or, right?
Yeah.
Were you a prior service sniper or are you and/or a police sniper? A police sniper, you have to be a police sniper on a top tier team, meaning busy, well funded, you're getting good training,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
getting good operational exposure.
Uh-huh.
Put in for it, got the gig. My buddy says, hey man, I'm leaving this gig to go to another company. You should look at doing the same thing, just because mobile gigs suck. And a mobile gig is basically, you got a principal with you and he's like, I want coffee. And it's 2 a.m. and you're like, FML, man, really? Right now
Yeah.
you want to go into this hot AO and you want coffee. All right, boys, mount up. We got to go get this dude coffee and he's coming with us. That sucks.
Yes.
So my bro was like, hey, look into a static gig, look into this company. So I did. I looked into Aegis, put in with them at that time. Cleared. Everything came in. I had put in an app with my current department at that same time frame.
Yeah.
And it just happened to work out that I got picked up by both. I didn't know this, but my itinerary came in with everything for the contracting company. Had just got with my chick. I'd been down this rabbit hole. I've deployed with a significant other.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, I like this girl.
Yeah.
She's cool.
Shout out to Booskies.
Shout out BAE. And I knew it. I was like, this is not going to work out, man. She's young. She was 22 at that time.
Yeah.
We've been together 10 years. She was 22 at that time. And I was like, this isn't going to work, dude. I'm going to literally do the contractor lifestyle, right? I'm going to go 90 days out and then I'm going to go have a great time in Costa Rica for 35 days.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
But
anyone who knows about
that's
Costa
right.
Rica.
That's basically
Yeah.
contractor life,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So I was like, this isn't gonna work out, dude. I don't want to pursue this.
I just a shout out to the guy who was like, "What happens in Costa Rica?"
Google it.
Google it.
Send us a DM.
Comment below.
That's right. So,
Oh man.
Going in tune with that. Once that came in, it's crazy. That was on a Tuesday. That same week on a Thursday, I'm FTOing a kid, driving him around.
Yeah.
Or he's driving me around, and I get a phone call, and it's the recruitment and selection unit where I work now, and they go, hey, you're hired. Can you come in? Can you be here Tuesday?
Yep. Sounds like typical.
It's Thursday.
Yeah,
and
sounds like-
I was like,
That sounds like our agency.
I was like
Yeah.
this. I was like, yes. I was like, yes.
Yes.
So that's it. And it was great because I called my sergeant. He knew,
Yeah, yeah.
pretty much what was going on. I was like, hey, man, I'm hightailing. I'm either going overseas
Yeah.
or I'm going up the road. So he knew something was coming. So when I call him, he's like, which one is it? And I go, I'm going up the road. He goes, oh my God, can I be there when you turn in your resignation? That'd be awesome. And I was, that's right. And I was like, that's dope.
But
Yes.
It was good terms, no?
It was decent terms. I would say
They're not excited
it was
to see you
great
go.
terms.
Yeah.
Up until I did that. And I didn't know any better at that time. I should have, obviously I should have taken a step back and been a little bit more methodical. Because
Yeah.
I felt like if I said no, they'd
Yeah.
be like, step aside.
Yeah.
Somebody else wants the job. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man.
Yeah.
So,
Typically the way it is.
and I committed. Immediately I committed. I hope I'm still in good terms, Monroe County.
Yeah.
Got a lot of my friends down there.
I'm sure.
I may go down there
You
again
paid
one
half
day.
the academy, or they reimbursed you for the other half?
Oh no, I paid the United States government paid for
Oh,
the
that's
academy.
right. That's right. But they
Yeah.
pick
Right.
you. They pick you up halfway through.
Correct.
Yeah. So for
Food for thought.
educational
Right.
purposes.
Shout out Rick Ramsey, Sheriff, Monroe County.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Same-
Don't hate me, sir.
Yeah, please. Hey, during
Come on the podcast. You're gonna, hey, you know what? Let's bring him out.
He's gonna be like, I hate that guy.
Guess who you have back here? Come on out, Rick.
This is your life.
Survey says.
Just remember, if there's like another wave of COVID and they do roadblocks,
That's
like,
right.
That's
Just remember, this guy's still allowed into the keys. okay?
Absolutely.
Just
So
chill.
so typically, if you're not on the GI Bill, you pay your way through if you're
Right.
self-sponsored, and then if a agency picks you up halfway through, they might even cover, and they might back pay to cover that academy expense.
Right.
very possible.
Yeah, or
It's-
they'll pick it up from where you're at, and then they'll cover the other half. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah.
It's all a bunch of negotiations with
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you should think if you're looking for somebody that you don't want to spend the full amount of money on,
Yeah.
you go to the academy and you recruit those guys.
Yes.
Perfectly viable. Sounds like a chance for another episode about.
We're going
in
to
the
bring
future.
somebody on. I got somebody lined up for the academy to talk all about the academy.
Stay tuned. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button.
Right.
Anyways,
He's going to put it down below.
or
So
up top.
you make the jump. Boom. Right?
Boom.
You get married right away?
No.
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 All right. How much does the contractors pay for overseas when you were going to go? Do you remember?
I think at that time it was I want to say like 400
400
a day.
A day.
But that's-
365 days.
That's 12-hour days.
That's like
90
$1
days
million.
out. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. You said yeah.
I mean, realistically, you could make that here without having to deploy over.
Of
man.
course,
You know.
of course. But there was somebody in my unit that was talking about it was like 180 grand for, I think it was like 6 to 8 months or something. But it was like 180 grand. It was big time.
It'd probably have to be something very specialized,
Yes.
like a
Yes.
Black Hawk pilot,
Yeah,
something
Well, I don't know. He's not a Black Hawk.
more along the lines of
He's a crayon eater too.
a great specialty.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Well,
Eating crayons?
yeah. So all right. Then hopefully they're non-toxic ones. They're like the little
Water-based?
we'll
Crayola
find
ones.
out.
Yeah. So go back. You leave.
Yes.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Much love to Monroe County.
100%.
However, it's time for bigger, better things. Or right? So you thought
Bigger.
Yes,
Yes.
bigger, same thing. More.
Bigger
It's police
things.
work all over the place.
Police work all over
Yeah,
is the same. You know, everybody grass is greener.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
You know, like it's the same thing, dude.
I agree. So you go. You become. This is where. How long were we before you became an FTO again? It was like a year. You
A
said,
year,
right?
yeah. Same thing.
A year because you already certified.
Already certified.
5 years in Monroe County.
Yes.
So 5 years in Monroe County.
Right.
SWAT team over there.
Yes.
You get to where you're at now.
Yes.
FTO.
FTO.
I remember you worked overtime.
I did everything there, yeah.
But I remember when you.
Yeah, I
were
was
you FTO
patrol,
over there?
FTO, and I was an FTO there.
Yeah.
And then I was with, at that time, they had a unit that pretty much specialized in solving specific issues.
Street level narcotic stuff.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say that's in tune with it.
Yeah. So you go over there, bang, and then there's an opening for the SWAT team.
Yeah?
You try out.
Yes.
You already had a heads up of like, man, you already knew the routine. I gotta get into.
I didn't
here.
know the routine. I didn't really generally know anyone there. I knew
Meaning, what you knew what to prepare for a SWAT school.
I knew what it would take to prepare for our SWAT school.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yes,
and then I didn't know if you were like sidelined, like, oh, this is not the same thing.
No, not at all. I knew the reputation followed it.
Yes,
absolutely. There's no questions asked. I know exactly what the department is. I know exactly, looking from the outside in, what I would guess to be is expected from the recruits that are coming in.
Yeah.
And it's, realistically looking at it as one of the dudes that's a cadre now that teaches it.
Yeah.
When you're looking at recruits, you want a guy that's a go-getter, independent thinker, grounded.
All right, I'm going to stop you. You're a SWAT. You're a cadre, which essentially is an instructor for the SWAT school.
Right.
All right. A lot of people listening, aspiring to be SWAT team members. I'm getting into police work.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the academy. I'm listening. I'm consuming everything that there is police out there. I got my thin blue line jacket on right now,
Wearing it.
with a tattoo on my chest.
Underwear?
Socks.
Well,
Hat.
so I'm that guy listening. I'm ready. I'm dying to be on the SWAT team.
Yeah.
What do I need to start doing?
Learn how to be a police officer first.
All right.
Absolutely.
So,
And I tell everybody that, because looking at it now in retrospect, once you actually start the career, you may realize that a year in, you're like, I don't want to do SWAT. You might be a veteran that when you first got there, you were like, this is exactly the way I want to go.
yeah.
But in that time, you had a year of emotional growing that happened, and you're like, wow, I don't need the tactical lifestyle in my life anymore. I can move past this. Oh, wow, look, homicide has an opening. I'm interested in that.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you realize investigations is the way I want to go, So it's just, I tell everybody, I'm like, learn how to be a solid, well-rounded patrol officer first.
Yeah.
Once you got that down, then you can commit.
I agree.
And along those lines, same sort of thing with even further back, the police officer. When I was an SRO, I was telling Chris on the break, when I was an SRO, people would come, or kids would come into my office, 17, 18 years old. I don't know what to do. Should I become a police officer? And I'd say, wait.
Yeah.
Just like he's saying, learn how to be a police officer. I would say, learn how to be a person.
Yes,
Grow up,
absolutely.
round yourself, get some life experience. You may have a whole lot of experience, but get some more.
Sure.
Do some work. Do a regular job, all that kind of stuff before becoming a police officer. So put some. I mean, few and far between you get those people that are, they're going to be a great police officer at 18, 19 years old. The rest of us, you need some time to grow. Yeah. Just like you've said in several stages of your life, you need some time to grow before you really are able to hit
You're just evolving is the key, right?
Yeah.
Could Chris, out of high school, that was going to the Marines, could have said, "No, I'm gonna be a cop instead of doing the Marines"?
No.
I could tell you right now, I no way. No way, Jose.
I knew what my end state was. I knew that I was I'd say growing up I was a well-liked dude.
Yeah.
I got along with everybody, you know. I feel like I'm a pretty well-spoken dude. I was the prom king. Can you believe that?
Hey.
I had hair, and I looked like Zach Morris when I was a young dude, man.
Time out.
Looked like a little Zach Morris back then.
I look
Absolutely.
like Screech.
So
yeah.
and going back in tune with what I said, I was a shitheel. I wanted the action, but I wanted the action at the next level.
This is 18-year-old you?
This is 18-year-old Chris. Yeah. This is, I need to go. I'm enlisting in the United States Marine Corps. I want to travel the world, and I remember the recruiter's selling point was, girls love the uniform, bro. And I was like,
It's true, though.
It's very true.
Hell
let's go.
True story.
Let's just be 100% honest.
Babe,
They
I have no
absolutely
idea
do.
what they're talking about.
I love you, babe.
I
But
love you, Lupe.
absolutely.
Since everybody else just did it, she knows.
But going in tune with that, there's nothing like a dress blues uniform. You get this just poster picture Marine.
Yeah.
All of a sudden they look like me a couple years in, sleeved out.
What happened?
No hair. The poster Marine's a blonde dude with blue eyes and just square jaw. You know, you get some fat dude like me sitting there sleeved out. You're like,
At what point did you turn into a rhinoceros?
that's awesome.
So it's a no. I'm a no. At 18, hell
no. Yeah,
What about
same
you?
way.
Maybe, but no, I
But
definitely wanted to go to college.
All right,
but
but
I'm also different kind of
You
mentality.
had a different mentality because you had
different type of police
like,
officer.
Well, you were a scout. You were in the scouts.
Right, yeah, Eagle Scout,
So you were like-
JROTC.
yeah,
So I mean, it was very much.
JROTC.
I did ROTC in
That's awesome.
college for
Yeah.
a year, and it was one of those.
Sure.
We'll go backstory real quick.
Yeah.
It was one of those like, hey, we need you to sign. We need you to sign.
Yeah.
We need you to sign. And I go, this waking up early in the morning thing kind of stinks. Like
Sucks.
PT and stuff. I'm in college. My roommates are going to do these things. I'm just going to investigate this a little bit
Yeah.
more. And I just said, this is fun. It's
That's
been
right.
a great time. It's helped me with a base, but I'm going to do this school thing.
That's
for
right.
A while.
Yeah,
So
but-
there's just
Yeah.
directions for everybody.
So to the listener out there, 18-year-old, you'll get there. No
You
rush.
will get there.
Yeah.
So the guy who's squared away in 18, maybe it's time for you
Sure.
to whatever. You know, I know a guy that got out. He was actually our intern. He was in high school. He was on the vlog. His name is Jerry. Shout out to Jerry.
Jerry.
And then he goes right out of high school. And I was telling him, bro, go to college. He's like, all right. And then he's like, hey, by the way, I have interviews. Hey, by the way, I'm hired. Hey, great for listening. Guess what? He's a great cop.
Awesome.
Well-spoken guy.
Yeah.
Great cop. He's a bright future ahead of him.
Can I say something controversial?
Go.
Frat dudes
Yeah.
don't hold a candle to the way that Marines party.
Oh no,
Nah.
I'm not a frat.
I'm
guy
just gonna
myself,
be.
but
Let's just be very clear about that.
So what you're saying is they're not on your level.
No, not back then. They weren't.
Oh,
no,
okay.
my level now is I have 2 beers. I'm an old dude, man.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I've
oh,
spent
they-
some time drinking with Marines, and I've also spent my time in college.
that's right.
Yes, I get it.
Absolutely.
I get it. You're correct.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just wanted to let you know that the new video Operation Smooth featuring TTOG is now up on Nick Off Duty. So as soon as the podcast is over, head on over there and check it out now. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
All right, let's fast forward. You're on a SWAT team. Mm-hmm. Boom. Within a SWAT team element, what else? Like, how there's a breakdown, or is it I'm a SWAT team member and that's it, or
I
what's
can do
the breakdown?
everything, or
What's the
do you have
breakdown?
specializations?
Yeah, there's specializations to it.
Starting out from the lower level, you're just a sponge, right?
Yeah.
And you're just there to really soak everything in, learn the job. You're going to have certain things that you need to take care of your first year on the team.
You drive the truck around and load the
Mostly,
ammunition.
yeah.
I
The
see
work
it.
that nobody wants to do.
Yeah.
You're going to be doing that.
You're earning your keeps.
100%.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I wasn't the best at that because I came in, I had a little bit of a saltier attitude.
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't get me anywhere.
No.
This is a place where you could be literally a dev dude, right? A Team 6 guy, and you come on board, they're going to be like, here, dude. Go clean the tires on the APC. Like that. I mean,
the truth.
that's right. That's the world we live in,
It's the truth.
And
Yeah.
it took me a minute to really grasp that. Probably more than a minute, but eventually I grasped it, and I'm like, okay, I'm with it. I'm Roger that. I'm here. So your job is really just whatever I knew at that point. Really got crisper. You go from a mindset and in a training aspect of training for the masses, right? And training for the man. Big difference.
Yeah, explain that. Break that down real
Okay,
quick.
so basically what that is training for the masses is everybody's online, everybody's shooting. Cool. This is quality training at the platoon size, at the larger scale company size. When you get to more specialized training for the man, it's now individual skills and abilities that you're working up. So now it's individual close quarter battle or close quarter tactics that you're really honing in on. What can I teach you as an individual to work on better that's going to just better you, but now when I throw you into the mix, run more smoothly within the team?
Okay, so it's not a blanketed approach.
Correct.
It's a more targeted, hey, we're going to work on this with you.
Absolutely.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has deficiencies.
Yeah.
Coming in, everybody's going to have deficiencies. The goal is obviously provide the training for the masses, but then also be able to focus specifically on the training for the man.
Yeah.
Whatever you're deficient in as an individual, we will work on that and bring you up to speed.
Yeah.
So now you got a group of just alpha males,
Yeah.
right? Like just... I work with some good dudes.
Yes.
I work with some very good dudes.
Shout out to all the good dudes that I know.
All the good
They're good.
dudes.
They're all good guys,
Out in
man.
the world.
Good guys.
Yeah,
Next level go-getters.
yeah.
Committed, dedicated, They write books about these types of dudes, And it's one of these things where when you realize the caliber of man you're working with, number one, it's a distinct honor and pleasure to even be on that playing field with them.
Yeah.
But being able to accomplish certain tasks, even on the training side, where everybody's like, hey, we really got to work on this. Okay, cool. Boom. Everybody puts an effort into it.
Right.
And so nobody gets left behind.
Yeah.
And that's key, especially when you're running a larger element. You're working on a busier, more well-funded unit. It's important that your training skill set is on par with your operational skill set, so that one isn't lacking on the other, right? Because you got some teams that are so busy that their training gets kind of thrown to the wayside. So everything they do is OJT. You know what I mean? Hey, when's the last time you covered that? Well, I just did that yesterday.
On-the-job training.
Absolutely, on-the-job training. Where if you can have an equal balance, throw training in whenever you can, put a hip pocket class out and be like, hey, this is what we're talking about real quick, boom, 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 boom. Everybody's up to speed. You're like, cool. And this is one of those units where you look around and nobody's ever really a deer in headlights. Things get explained very well. Guys have a good grasp. But this is also one of the most elite units in the country.
Yes.
I
can say yes.
So you're not going to show up here and just come on board. Hey, we like you. You're cool. Come on board. No, this is one hell of a vetting
Believe
process.
me, I tried.
Yeah,
We like you. You're cool, but no.
absolutely. Yeah,
Stick to the vlogs.
yeah.
Yeah.
But
Camera guy.
So now try out. You go through the school. You're well prepared, or not? Well, you at least prepared for.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
You survive it.
Good word.
Yeah, because that school is hell.
It's survival.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Not only is it hot, but you
Yeah.
guys are doing some activities that I'm like, wow.
Well, you could be good at everything. Whatever you're not good at, it's going to get exploited.
Yes.
You could have a PT stud that kind of could be better at shooting, or you could have a shooter that could have better PT. It doesn't matter. You could be amazing at everything, and you hate the water.
No.
Whatever it is, that skill set, we have something for everybody.
Watch the vlogs. If you
Absolutely.
guys go over to the
Those are rated PG, by
those
the
are-
way.
I guess almost G, but yeah, PG.
PG.
So there's a lot of innuendos in there.
Yes.
If you look, there's in one of the episodes in the schools where somebody squared away, but that water element
Crushed them.
destroyed.
It killed them. I remember.
Yes, it's and I'm not gonna. There's a certain reason. There's a reason behind the madness.
Sure.
There is there's a point where they fill up your goggles.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're wearing the snorkel,
Yep.
but they fill it up with water, and you have to learn how to breathe and respirate. You like that? Out of your mouth. So you have to kind of just concentrate. Don't breathe out of your nose, or you're going to intake all this water
Right.
that's floating around in your mask.
So you're actually training mouth breathers, because a lot of people complain
Yeah,
about
so-
those type of people.
Well, it's the rhyme and
No,
reason
yeah, I
behind
got
it,
it.
because I'm
Well,
like, hey,
so-
what's the madness behind this?
The method of
Yeah.
the madness there is stay calm.
Yeah.
Right? Like, don't lose your bearing, relax.
Yeah.
Think about this, and I'll put this in terms that you guys will be like, okay, that makes sense, right? The country's absolute finest warfighters, right? Green Berets and frogmen, right? How are these dudes able to literally swim across the pool underwater 50 meters without taking a breath, right? They go all the way back and all the way back to the starting point, right? Without taking one breath. If you look at them, it's efficiency. And these dudes do their best to just stay calm and relaxed,
Heart
right?
rate.
Heart rate,
Yeah.
everything. They have everything down packed. So what we're looking for is, if we're looking to exploit that, are you going to freak out when rounds start just
Yeah.
coming in?
Yeah.
And that's something that we vet.
Because water, similar to rounds, is an
Absolutely.
unforgiving
Well, water is
thing.
unforgiving.
Yeah.
And then,
Absolutely.
And then the training point behind it was that if you're going, you have to get off a boat, and correct me on the terminology there, but if you're jumping off the boat at night to go to one of these houses that are off the water,
Yeah.
then you start taking in water
Right.
into your mask. You better learn how to figure it out,
Yeah.
because if you don't, you're
Right.
gonna be a
Can't sit there.
detriment to the mission.
Exactly. Can't sit there and tread water and wait
Yeah,
for you to.
oh my God, guys! Oh my God, I got water in my mask.
Imagine.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So it's like they say, there's a method to the madness.
Absolutely.
So you go bang. Now you graduate SWAT school. The different elements real quick, hit those real quick. The different parts.
The different elements within the.
You said you were a sniper.
Still am.
So, but that's what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
still
So
am.
is that a part of it?
Sure, absolutely.
So not everyone
So-
who makes SWAT school
Correct.
automatically becomes a
Right,
sniper.
absolutely. Obviously, volunteer position.
Yeah.
You know that, and just to be very clear, when it comes to being a sniper, whether it's in the military or on the law enforcement side, it needs to be a volunteer position. You cannot effectively have someone operate behind that gun unless they have a willingness to take a life to save a life. And you can only get that from somebody that's volunteering for the position. You're not going to get that from somebody that's told you have to do this.
Yeah. So,
That's very important. That's written in doctrine publications throughout the military.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just one of those things. You need a volunteer because that's somebody that says, "Hey, I want to do this."
so they say, look, this is what being a sniper involves.
Sure.
Are you down?
Absolutely.
Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Bang. No? Okay.
Right.
All right, well, so sniper,
Yes.
that's one. You got the boot, the guy who's running ammunition. That's the guy who's learning the sponge. The sponge.
He's a team member. You know,
Okay.
some units, depending on what team you're on, what department you're in, they'll be known as an assaulter.
Okay.
All right, because when an assault is being carried out, which is just a structure is being taken over methodically, systematically, you're part of the first element that's inside to, best word I could say is gain a foothold in the property and then just start dominating it little by little.
All right. That's an assaulter.
Yes.
That's the guy who just got out of the SWAT school.
Yes.
Also the sponge.
Sponge.
Sniper.
Yes.
What else?
You got waterborne guys.
Waterborne.
So, we're surrounded by water on three sides. Waterborne guys are specialized in waterborne operations. That's going to be swimming, whether you're doing scout swimming operations, vessel boarding operations. Could be anything in the water.
Okay.
Wow.
What else?
Obviously, from there, you're going to have other specialties, explosive breachers.
Mm-hmm.
These are guys that go to courses that are specifically generated towards making a energetic breach.
I like the way he selects his
So I had to, and I
Energetic.
know, because listen, I know, that is the actual correct terminology.
Yeah,
It's an
yeah.
energetic breach.
Right.
So making energetic breaches, and that's a very intricate course as well.
Yeah.
Very, very intricate course. Guys that go to that are not just knuckle draggers that are just like, me
Yeah.
caveman, me do. No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to send the best of the best for
Okay.
those spots. Guys that that you can count on under pressure that can carry out these specialized operations within a specialized unit already.
What about medical?
Medical, so we have medics that are duly certified as police officers. So they'll go through I believe it's an 11-week auxiliary academy where they'll be certified as auxiliary police officers.
But originally they were
Fire medics.
firefighters.
Firefighters for the same
Those guys.
municipality.
Municipality.
They just get it all, man.
Right.
Yeah. they
Everyone loves them. They get to be on
they
a
get
SWAT
the
team.
sofas and the recliners.
They're pretty hot. Right? Like these dudes are shredded. I love them.
Do they
right?
still wear
Like,
those pants?
calendar-
They're all, come on. These guys have their own calendar,
So
bro.
then October. What's the hottest one? December or October?
Jesus.
How
Probably.
does that usually work? I don't know.
I'd say
I've never
probably,
been in
probably
one.
December, bro.
Probably December. So these guys, they get it all, man. You know what? I don't really dislike people, but firefighters.
You know what? I'll tell you this. Rightfully so, though, because, and I learned that lesson many years ago.
I'm just
United
kidding, by
States
the way.
Marine Corps infantry line units, you don't have dedicated Marines that are medics. You have Navy corpsmen. So corpsmen provide the medical for you.
Yeah.
These guys are the same way. Where those guys, those medics, not only hump around what you're humping around, they're lugging a gun too. And if there's a gunfight, they're in it. Number one, they're providing triage. Number two, if they're putting a bad guy down, they're putting a bad guy down. So they're expected to do everything you're expected to do and save a life.
And yeah,
Absolutely. Our medics, phenomenal. Same thing.
That's
you know,
awesome.
these are dudes that their original profession was medical.
Yeah.
And now we teach these dudes, hey man, something happens. I need you to carry this gun. Come take care of business and then come take care of me.
Yeah.
And they are rock and roll.
Yeah, they're squared away.
Absolutely.
do they carry firearms?
They do,
with them
absolutely.
on them?
Issued firearms, absolutely.
They go through.
Because like you
essentially
said, they're
like a
duly
sort-
certified. They're-
Correct.
Yeah, no, these guys are the real deal. And a shout out to all my fire friends. shift, please. All my fire peeps out there. I'm just making a joke. I'm envious more than anything.
And so you're a full-time operator, full-time on the team.
Yes.
That's your 9 to
Job.
5
Yeah.
in air quotes. Some cities like mine is a part-time where
Yeah.
the officers are on the road and then they are either called off for trainings or called off for missions, all that kind of stuff. And then there's other agencies we were discussing that are multi-agency SWAT teams
Sure.
for
Yeah, they're small.
larger regions
Yeah.
that just maybe aren't as busy. So you've got those different levels. Are those fire medics with you guys 100% of the time full time, or are they also on a truck, ladder?
They're on a collateral basis,
What's
meaning
that?
their full-time job is to provide medical services for the population of the city.
Okay.
So call out basis.
Call-out basis,
Okay.
Hey, we
anything SWAT related, they'll be with us.
Okay.
Absolutely.
They're on a call.
Right.
They got a beeper.
Right.
Okay. So
Beep beep beep.
so they might be on a truck, red vehicle, or
Right.
are they down in my
Red, we got
some
red.
city?
We got red.
Red.
Yeah.
Woo! You know,
Woo.
ladders and
Yeah.
stuff. And the beeper goes off. We've got to go to work in
Right.
that direction.
Right.
Oh, very cool.
Okay. So that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously you have your rank structure where you have a commander, a sergeant over the officers, and
Sure.
it's like any other unit.
Right.
All right. So you got them. Fast forward all the way through. TTOG is here.
Okay.
And you're rocking and rolling
Mm-hmm.
all over the place. You just got back from Arkansas
Yes.
or Arkansas. Okay? You're doing big things, right?
Yep.
TTOG at first, 3 years ago it started?
Yeah.
3,
Going
4
on
years.
4. Yeah.
Going
Going
three,
on
4
4
years.
years.
What is TTOG?
TTOG, go.
TTOG is a Tactical Train Operations Group. So TTOG originally started as a concept of just providing the absolute best training available where I was located, which was South Florida. That's evolved.
Yep.
It's grown substantially over the last 3.5 years. A lot of blessings, I had this discussion with my wife, but my mistress is my grind.
Yeah.
My mistress is the grind. And part of that grind is I am constantly teaching, training, traveling amongst my regular duties as a police officer. And in doing so, you're able to really keep yourself sharp, especially when it comes to shooting tactics. I've been blessed to come on a company called Fieldcraft Survival.
Yeah. Huge.
Huge. That's huge. So
Yeah.
I was hand selected by my buddy Raul Martinez, who's the director of training over there.
Shout out to Raul. Got to
Shout
get him
out.
on. Got to get him on.
Shout out to Raul.
You could be sitting here. You will be sitting here.
I actually attended a course, met Raul, had a great time, had a blast. Had a great time and a blast after the class.
Hey.
We talk a lot. My mindset is everything in life is a vetting process. Doesn't matter what you show up to. If you're showing up to an event like that and you are a shooter and you are a trainer, you better show up with your A game.
Yes.
And I did. A couple days later, Raul asked me, he goes, "Hey man, question for you. Be real happy if you came on board with this company, dude. I think that you're a cool dude, good shooter. You have a good message to spread." I go, "That's awesome." And it was a great compliment and a humble feeling because I look up to Fieldcraft Survival.
Yeah.
When people are like, "Hey, who do you train with?" I go, "Fieldcraft Survival."
You got a poster on the wall
Absolutely. And now to be part of that,
next to the Backstreet Boys.
absolutely.
Sorry.
And now to be part of that and be able to run TTOG, do TTOG, and also travel the country and spread the message of Fieldcraft Survival. Very cool feeling. And as an instructor, I got to tell you, it's next level. Keeps you sharp, next level sharp.
Yeah.
If you're constantly slinging lead down range, you're constantly picking up on things. You're honing in on your efficiency. My company motto is be deliberate, be efficient, be effective. If you're doing something, it needs to be done very deliberately. That's going to increase your efficiency. And at the end of the day, that's going to increase your overall effectiveness.
That's awesome.
So to break it down, you're here to do something, do that.
Absolutely.
And try your hardest at doing that.
Absolutely.
and you will be the best at doing that.
Absolutely.
Just do this.
And do it in the most efficient manner
Yeah.
possible. And I tell people laugh, so my classes are full of humor. I love having a good time.
Yeah.
Efficiency was created, by the way, by the laziest person in the world, right? They're like,
Yeah.
oh my God, I have to take my ammo from the back of my car and I have to walk it all the way to the 3-yard line to shoot, right? What are we talking about here? 50 yards?
Yeah.
They're like, Jesus Christ. And then somebody's like, hey, bro, look what I created. It's got 4 wheels. Load your ammo on it and pull it. And they're like, bro, we're going to call that efficiency.
Yep.
Right?
exactly.
Point A to point B.
Yeah.
Just in
Making it easier.
absolutely,
Yeah,
bro.
I like it.
And it's the same thing with shooting. When it comes to that, just building efficiency means just get rid of wasted stuff, right? Movements, motions, manipulations, everything in life. When it comes to gunfighting, you're under a clock, right? And you need to execute the fundamentals flawlessly so that you walk out of there. And the last thing you want to do when it comes to building efficiency is think about what the fundamentals are while you're actually doing them. That sucks.
So better training is shooting from a windshield of a car and all that stuff. I think that's great.
Sure.
But if you're not mastering the
I think that's very
fundamentals-
important, and I think that's something that people should prioritize, right? Like
Yeah.
gunfighting is prioritizing, right?
Yes.
So that's the problem, is that people see certain things and they're like, I'm going to prioritize that because that looks incredible.
Yes.
Instead of saying, you know what, I'll get to that. I need to prioritize just understanding how to even use this gun.
Yes.
How to get this gun on target and hit what I'm aiming at static without
Building
moving.
blocks, yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
I need to be able to hit what I'm aiming at with no pressure, no stress, every single time. What does that do? Well, that builds that when something actually goes down, if I can hit in the immediate area or vicinity of what I'm aiming at, when things are really piping off,
Yeah.
physiological effects are really going in, well, then I'm doing the right thing.
So so better, obviously. Before we start going and laying down and doing all this cool stuff, which
Yeah.
eventually you need to get to anyway.
You do need to get to that, absolutely.
Master the fundamentals.
That's what it's all about.
People are like, man, but that's not cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, and this is the thing, right?
Goggles on,
Right.
helmet on, and I want to run.
Well,
through
this is the
doors.
thing, right? Everybody's like, gunfighting sexy, and it's really not.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that looks sexy, that's awesome. It's not, I tell people when they come to my class, listen, it's nitty gritty, it's bloody.
Yeah.
You leave somebody laying in a pile of blood,
Yeah.
it's not a good sight.
Nah.
And I tell people all the time, when I talk to people in my courses, I talk from experience, so I'm not going to tell you about how to be a gunfighter and then just throw theories at you and be like, hey, try that. Let me know if it worked so that I can make sure I document it
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
good, right?
4 out of
Yeah.
5
I'm
times
going to
it worked.
tell
I'm gonna
you.
teach it.
Exactly, right? 60% of the time it worked every
100% of
time.
the time.
So it's one of those things that it boils down to where you're like, hey, listen, execute the fundamentals correctly. Focus on this, prioritize, right? Especially with whatever situation you're in. Some things are more forgiving than others. Distance is one of those things.
Yes.
If I'm up close to you, I know my backdrop, it's just me and you, and I'm 2 yards away from you, I can sling lead pretty quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Yeah.
If I'm 25 yards out and I got to really pick up that sight, I need to really hone in on all my fundamentals
Yes.
and ensure that I execute everything accordingly, right? At the end of the day, gunfighting is executing fundamentals correctly, prioritizing, working angles, and making good tactical decisions. Guys get lost in translation when they're like speed, accuracy. And I tell everybody, looks really bad when you shoot super fast and you missed every round.
Yeah.
Take that little millisecond, slow it down, pick up the sight, and squeeze.
Yep.
And it blows people's minds when you ask them, you're like, hey, who usually picks up a sight? And they go, I don't know. It's like the winner of the gunfight. And that's just what it boils down to. The sexy
good.
stuff, build up to it.
Yeah. Don't do that. Like,
No, do it for sure.
But first build up.
But do it so that that's not the first thing you did and you completely jacked that up and you're like, oh, I did great, right? And some instructors are scared to tell you suck.
Yeah.
Hey, man, you scare me.
Yeah.
They're scared to say that, right? Because they're
see you
like,
next week.
I don't want this guy to leave my class and then put out a bad word, or this dude's popular on Instagram.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, like,
Right.
I don't care about that. Number one, I tell people, hey, listen, you need to be safe wherever you're working. Number two, if you suck, you're out of here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to deal with the liability of it. Not just for that, like, don't shoot me, don't shoot each other.
Yeah.
don't shoot me.
Let's go right back to the beginning.
Hey, but-
I'm going to note that again.
To wrap that up, you're law enforcement only, or you have like what?
Oh no, we're open to everybody. So when I started out, I was just law enforcement,
yeah.
and that was up until this year, man. You know, my classes have always been rock and roll. It's been this year that I've gotten a big push.
Law enforcement and military. That's what it was.
Law enforcement, military, restricted courses only.
Yeah, that's what you were doing before.
And that kind of put a lot of people in the backdrop, like,
Yeah.
hey, man,
I want in.
what the hell? I want to
Yeah.
come out. So I'm like, you know what? I actually had a good friend of mine, committed dude, good guy. He's one of my sponsors from Palm Beach Tactical.
Shout out to Palm Beach Tactical.
Shout out
Manny.
to Manny from PBT. Manny said, hey, Chris, let's do a gunfighter class. I want to open it up to everybody. I go, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's spread the message. So, you know, when I talk gunfighting fundamentals, like people, it blows their minds when you tell them the fundamentals don't change. They don't, right? What changes is the way that that message is delivered, right? If I can convey that message to you in a manner that you're like, wow,
Yeah.
it just made so much more sense. Like I've gone to these other three dudes and I got it. I grasp it, right? One of the things that I do is I just make people laugh, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I never go in on people
Yeah.
personally attacking them unless they're super hot with great beards, right? See, even that, like,
Where's your beard?
when you do that, like, it breaks people down,
Yeah.
right? You know, and I used to be the dude that would show up and wear Cry Precision pants and look all high speed. I don't do that anymore, bro. You know, I break it down back to regular level, dude. I'm wearing Express jeans for gunfighting,
Converse.
bro, right? Converse.
Because you definitely do. And I mean, that goes into just even the law enforcement world with your training officers. If they're a little more relatable to
Sure.
you, but still getting the message across,
Right.
and breaking that fear and tension
Sure.
to allow you to, okay, you gotta get a little nervous
Yeah.
anyways, because
Right.
you're gonna be nervous in a real gunfight.
Right.
You're gonna have the adrenaline and stuff, so you got to get that.
Well-
but you're not gonna learn much from somebody that you're just totally scared of.
So part
and you're
of-
afraid
You're like,
of
I
Part
can,
of
I can
that-
never be that guy.
Well,
you know?
and that's the thing, right? Like, people are like, dude, your Instagram, shout out to Andrew Gilbert Photo, by the way. That's my guy.
TTOG underscore LLC on
That's it.
Instagram. We're gonna link it.
You know,
I was telling him earlier.
Andrew does such a good job of just capturing the. He's got a darker side, more
Yeah.
nitty gritty, and I love that. So that builds an image, right? An image is one thing, right?
Yeah.
Images, people don't realize an image is not reality, right? It's an image, bro. You know, like, do I wear nods to work? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I wear plate carriers and rock awesome guns? Yes, I do. Is my mission set very dangerous? Absolutely, it is. But none of that gets captured in an awesome fashion when I'm executing an operation for a warrant service, right?
Yeah.
So I have a dude that captures that image. He has an eye for that specifically, and people like to see that.
Yeah.
But what I love is that I establish that image, and when you show up to my class, you're cracking up. You're like, dude, this dude's funny as hell.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, man, that's what this is about, right? So the one thing I found is through comedy, I get people's attention. And if you can keep people interested in what you're teaching, you're conveying the message.
Yes.
That's it, man.
That's one of my strategies over at
Absolutely.
the academy. So
You enjoy comedy, don't you?
yeah.
Well, you were a comedian.
Yeah, I actually was back in the day, but that's for another podcast. I'm actually going to have
Absolutely.
a comedian on. My boy Neri. My boy
Yeah, we
Neri
were
Sand's
just
going to
talking
be
about him
on. So
yesterday. I
that's
saw
a
that.
future podcast. But Chris,
Sir,
Christian.
Nick.
Yeah. Hey, hell of a first ride, man.
I agree.
Huh?
I
Round
I'm
of
sorry
applause.
to cut it short. I feel like it's my
Yeah.
fault, but
Yeah,
we
I
got to
agree.
keep them wanting more.
Well,
I just,
we
I want to
we're gonna bring
leave.
him back.
Can I say one last thing?
You can say it.
You
And
got
this
all
is
you
something
want.
that I share in all my classes, and this is the way that I leave all of my classes, because there's an expectation of perfection, right?
Yeah.
It's a fallacy, and I tell everybody, because we're all humans, right? I say, hey guys, listen, everybody misses. You just can't miss when it matters.
I like the way you lean into the mic when you drive home a point.
Jocko.
That's
I love Jocko.
Yeah, you
I love
do.
Fieldcraft Survival. Shout out to all my bros over there.
yes.
Mike Glover.
Yes.
Raul Martinez.
Go. Keep going.
plug.
Follow my guys,
We're
man.
gonna roll credits.
Plug.
We're gonna roll credits.
Can I do that? Can I give a shout?
You can go. Whoever you want.
Roscoe Manufacturing.
Bang.
Gabe, I love you.
Gabe.
PBT Manny, I love you.
Say it one more, Manny. One more. Say it one more.
PBT Manny, I love you.
Manny.
Thank you, bro. American Defense Manufacturing, God bless you. And guys, shout out to my bro, DA1.
he will be on. My boy Dave.
Dave Vandriel.
Bringing him on for some CQB talk.
Absolutely. Last but not least is Howitzer.
Howitzer.
Guys ask me, hey, what's that shirt? It's Howitzer. They created the Rhino.
Boom. And that is your mascot.
That's the mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's you.
Because I'm fat and I have a big nose and I look like a rhino.
Don't stand in my way.
You don't have to say it. I'll say it.
Yes. Oh man, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
Hey, cheers, my man.
Cheers,
Got
my
the coolest
bros.
stuff.
Cheers.
Salute. Episode 3 in the bags.
Absolutely. Marcelo, I love you.
He's going with the shout outs.
Calling all units, calling all units. Donut Shop has a fresh dozen. Go ahead and take a 1040.